Okay, we should be live. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land.
What up, what up, what up?
We are live. I'm with Richie Dubbz, one of my favorite people on YouTube, within my first 100 subscribers. Uh,
Hey,
we owe it all to Brody Alfonso. That's how I got connected with pretty much that whole core group. My YouTube algorithm just recommended him, and I was just like, "Oh, look, a Magic playing cowboy," and I saw all you guys in the chat. Now I
Brody
gotta.
is a wonderful human being.
Yeah, he is. He's a busy man. He's working on fixing up a property so they can sell it. Um, and him and his wife can start a family. I think that's their plan,
Nice.
which is something everybody should be aspiring for. He is. He's a busy man. He's working on fixing up a property so they can sell it. Um, okay, good. And his wife can start a family. I think that's their plan.
Perfect. Nice.
All right, good. We're working. We're live. We're doing it, Richie. We're doing it. Did you just?
Hey, we've only been talking about doing this for how long?
Yeah, years. It has been over a year.
Probably.
Let's see. Next, eventually, we'll plan it better and do that live call-in thing, where people can join a Discord chat and just say whatever they want.
Yeah, for sure.
I was looking up
You gotta
apps
do that for your.
that let you have a phone number. Like if there's like a computer app or program I can download that acts as a phone, and people call that. I couldn't find one. Maybe my search terms, whatever I was looking for, wasn't working. Wasn't good terms.
Right.
But it's not you, it's me. So I have a regular that started joining my chats. His username is Strongest Battlegrounds Mobile Player. He says
Oh,
hello,
okay.
Benson. Hello,
Yeah,
Strongest.
I just gotta wait.
Say hello to my buddy Richie Dubbz I'm live with.
What's going on? Welcome, welcome. Oh,
Let me get a link to Richie's channel in the chat. So for the sake of having no dead air, making this interesting. So what were you saying? Sasquatch, Bigfoot earlier? Sasquatch? What was the word?
we want to talk about? You want to talk about? I said Sam Squatch.
Sasquatch. Is that a real thing, or is that just another version of Bigfoot?
No, that's just like a funny way to say Bigfoot.
Oh, okay.
It's like a meme.
But is Bigfoot real though?
I don't know. I have a hard time discrediting everybody who says they saw something. I can't in good conscience just say that they're all wrong, they're all dumb, they're all lying, whatever kind of cope I would need to do to dismiss that.
I mean, I don't rule out up in the, deep in the woods of like North Dakota or the Ozarks, something that a great, basically a type of primate could survive. But this day and
Right.
age, that it's been cited, since what, the 60s or longer than that, how you figured they would all die off not by now. For there to be that many, for them to procreate and still be like seen and cited, they would have to either live a long ass time, be immortal like King Kong basically, or there'd be several of them. And there's several of them, you'd see them in colonies, and it's always just a one-off of anytime a Bigfoot or Sasquatch. There's only just one of them. There's no Sasquatch family units.
Now, the argument to that is there's this video by a YouTuber named Bob Gimlin. He's an awesome follow if like you're into the Bigfoot thing. But he shows this video of these monkeys that were in a laboratory or some kind of apes. I don't know exactly what they were, like primates. But they were showing a computer screen and it had like 100 squares on it, and each square had a number, but they weren't in order necessarily. And so, like, out of the 100 numbers, they would light up like 13 of them, and then they would be on screen for no more than maybe 1 or 2 seconds. And if the monkeys selected the numbers that were accurate represented, they would get a grape. It would dispense a grape. And I'm talking like if to try to do this, we would have to sit there and watch it and like focus on it. Like, okay, let's see. It's got 17. It's got 23. That's a 42. It would take us 30 seconds before we would probably get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the apes were able to do it like instantly. It's a really amazing clip. You should check it out sometime.
Okay. What? Just apes being smart? What was their name of this test?
Well, there probably is. I don't remember what. But the point of it is like their ability to see something and react to it is so much faster than ours that by the time we're saying, "Hey, what was that brown flash?" they've said, "Oh crap, it's a human. Let's get out of here."
There's that footage recently of Joe Rogan talked about it. There's like an orangutan or a chimp, whatever it is, using a spear to go fishing. So,
Oh yeah,
like out in the wild, and he's like, they're entering their Bronze Age, if that's the case, and he's right. Joe Rogan's right occasionally. What up, Prime?
he is. Yeah, those that indicates that we're moderators on this channel. That's what the wrenches are in the blue names.
Oh yeah,
responding to the chatter.
Prime, if you're free, you can join the
Oh,
dropped frames. Oh,
the Bigfoot people got to us. We're spilling the beans.
Shit. Yeah, we're spilling the beans on the.
There's something.
Epic Games.
The anti-Bigfoot lobbies.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's a thing, which I don't know why they would be against a fictional life form. Loch Ness Monster, definitely not real. It's not possible that a animal of that size can survive.
Well, I don't think it's as big as you think it is. And I'll play devil's advocate. I don't know if anybody saw a Loch Ness Monster or not, but there were like 75 reportings in like a 2-year period before like the hysteria of it or whatever. And, anything's possible. Yeah. I think that we just recently found, not recently, but like we periodically find things that we thought were endangered or things that we thought were extinct. Like the coelacanth was an extinct fish for for so many years before it was like rediscovered.
Yeah.
Like the Tasmanian tiger is like speculated to still maybe exist. So again, it's possible that we have things that are remnant of the prehistoric era that we just don't really know about. If you look up, there's a creature in Africa called Mokele Mbembe.
Okay.
And if like you go like the tribes people in the Congo will tell you about this thing. And if you like show them pictures of like all of the known flora or fauna of the region, none of Mbembe, but then if you draw like a Loch Ness Monster looking thing, that's it, yes. And like they'll talk about, periodically they'll capture and eat one. Like not very often, but it does happen.
That's their first reaction. Oh, look, an endangered, maybe extinct thing. Let's kill it and eat it.
Well, like these are
I get
people
it.
living in remote tribes.
Yeah, true.
And then you have things like, historically, like Saint George the Dragon Slayer. Like, what do you think he was killing?
Maybe, or where was he, Saint George? Like, where was he located? Europe, England?
I believe it was like I believe it was in the continent. I don't know exactly what country, but like Europe, yeah.
So, I don't think it can be a large reptile unless I don't know too much about England or that part of Europe's. If it's England, I don't know what their climate is like. It could stand an alligator or a crocodile or something like that. It could be a shark, maybe, like something close that looks like would resemble a dragon. Or he found dinosaur remains and said he killed it and somebody believed him. Could be that.
Yeah.
Or he killed a rival knight whose nickname was the dragon and everyone went with that.
Well, no, but he was like, it wasn't a dragon, right? I think he was like, he used to hunt dragons. Like, he was like...
What happened to the...
like, I can't remember exactly what his name is. I'm not good with, like, Chinese, but you know the first emperor of China's name?
Qin Shi
It's like
Huang.
Wang
Yeah.
Chi or something.
Qin Shi
Yeah,
Huang.
yeah.
Yeah.
He so the like his legend is that before like they could populate the lands, they had to chase the dragons away. Like he had to like clear the dragons from the land before they could like farm it or whatever.
Hmm.
So there is like historical you know context for these types of things living in the time of humanity.
Right. That's fair.
Also you have ubiquitous dragon lore like
Hmm.
across like all of civilized society. And like that, again, like I'm not saying that we had dragons or whatever, but like, what starts as a Loch Ness monster, or like a little seven, quickly can become a 30-foot fire breathing beast
Yeah.
with just a couple retellings.
True. And it could just be oral histories of people that distantly remember now extinct species around, and they're not around anymore. It became a game of telephone. They got bigger and bigger and did more and more things that they never actually did. So it's like all these open world sandboxy build things games are um, you start off with a pickaxe.
No, I made it.
Oh, you made the
This one you
pickaxe.
start out with nothing.
Oh, like
Yeah,
Minecraft.
first
Yeah, I
I collect
think.
rocks and I made a stone one.
Yeah. So in Minecraft, yeah, I think in Minecraft you
You're
start
the
off with just your
yeah.
hands.
AE Boogie says he's the mod.
Who's this?
It's a meme. It's funny. It's a meme.
Okay, you're the mod. What's the meme origin then?
So we're in a common server, and one of the members of the server got mod, and he like went power tripping with it, and like he's just like got too big for his britches with his little mod ship. It's funny. He's the mod. He'll tell you what's offensive.
You're the mod. Telling him he's the mod without giving him a mod wrench. So has there been people like who have gone crazy with Discord mods? Like the standard joke is like when somebody, sadly is to say, like when somebody does a shooting or a tragic event, they like, oh, Reddit or Discord lost another mod. Like, is there stories of
Yeah.
people actually being shitty with mod controls?
Well, I think it's more like the unhinged basement dweller who doesn't leave their house kind of like trope.
Okay.
Like when they finally come out, it's like to commit like this evil act or whatever.
Okay. So it's just basically nerds being power hungry. I've seen that before. That goes back to what I was saying earlier about magic influencers over on X and that have YouTube channels. They just make these up on high statements. You just like, hey, what did you mean by that? They just instantly block you. No dialogue, no nothing, and it just makes them feel powerful.
For sure, for sure.
One of my experience earlier today was like they're going on and on about Trump and's gonna take rights away, and I'm like, what rights is he gonna take away? What rights did you not have from 4 years of Trump? What rights did you lose? Yeah, abortion got restricted, but that wasn't him. He played a part by putting those Supreme Court people there, but
well, actually, what really happened with that is like they just kicked it back to the states, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a misnomer. It actually went back to states,
absolutely.
so it's like some states are going to severely restrict it. You can only get an abortion if your life is threatened and you're like within the first few weeks of being pregnant, which is totally stupid and wrong of them. But they act like they're going to lose rights. Like I remember back in the 2000s with Bush, it's like, oh, gay rights, and it's like, what rights do they not have? They can't get married. That was shitty. If they want to get married and be miserable like the rest of us, that joke somebody told, I'm all for it. But I mean, trans people, what rights do they not have? They can vote. Okay. There you go. We need pickaxe volumes in the background. Did any of my little rant come through?
You could start at the top if you want.
I basically just went on about idiots on YouTube who just idiots on Magic Twitter who just talk about how Trump is going to terminate their rights as a citizen. And it's just a misnomer and an irresponsible thing to say and fear mongering. They're talking about that policy paper, Project 2025, how that's going to be the end of everything, and that's just a fear mongering wish list by a think tank. Think tanks write papers like that all the time that don't ever amount to anything.
Oh, for sure. I think a lot of it is also code for special treatment, special considerations, special treatments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Also, we have like this new idea of equity versus equality.
mm-hmm.
Equality is like, a true egalitarian belief of like, everybody should be equal. But equity means that, if you're thriving and somebody else isn't, they should be given more. They should be given a boost to get kind of like closer to where you are, despite the fact that you maybe, worked 12-hour days for 20 years. They should just get kind of handed the same kind of uh, um, lifestyle.
Agreed. This guy wants to be a mod. Ah, you suck, OBS. I'm dropping frames. This is ass.
It's probably not OBS though. It's from your
My wife is streaming something at the moment, so that might be why.
Oh yeah, that's probably almost definitely why.
I noticed that when she's watching things. Take my phone off Wi-Fi. That'll be one less source. I'm as lean as I can get right now. I can't close out anything else that absorbs internet. Let's see. Back to studio. Let's take a look at the metrics. We got 5 likes, 43 views. Doing pretty good. Anybody in chat, what do you want to talk about? What should we talk about? Anybody, anything. Anything at all.
I think you dropped again. Oh, you came back.
Nope, I'm here. If you don't hear me, I'm probably just cutting out of my... It's probably just my internet kicking my butt.
Oh, well, no, actually, the dream spin, the circle.
The what happened?
I saw like the little loading, the buffering symbol on the screen on the stream.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was referring to.
Yep, my internet's shit. We're thinking about getting different internet because the price of our current one only went up, and it's not great.
Poppy's Playtime Chapter 3. I've not played Poppy's Playtime.
Is that a real game? It sounds like a made-up
I
game.
believe it is.
Poppy
No, it sounds
Playtime?
familiar. I'm pretty sure it really is.
Poppy's Playtime Chapter 3. Is it like a daycare simulator? You run away from a psychotic guy named Poppy? That's what it sounds like it would be.
It is a decrepit orphanage known as Play Care sits beneath the once magical toy factory. You must make your way through this haunted place, solving new puzzles and avoiding nightmares that lurk within the dark. Answers lie between the blood-stained blood sheets and the screaming echoes, if you can survive.
Creepy.
It's $14.99 on Steam.
Did you play the free banana game on Steam?
I did not.
Are you aware of it?
I have better things to do than sit there and click on a banana to watch a timer
Okay.
grow. A counter grow, not a timer. Excuse me.
Apparently, there was like a scam within that game. The people that make it, there's like cosmetics you can actually buy. The game is free, but you pay for cosmetics, like a different colored banana. And apparently,
Yeah,
there's
there's
like
like $10,000 banana.
yeah.
Is that a scam or is it
I
just
thought the Spiffy Brit, a gaming channel, talked about it. I think he mentioned there was like some kind of scam going on. It's like, are you serious? You made a game about it clicking a banana, and now there's a scam around it. That's worse than that. Who's the fat guy on scamming everybody on crypto? What's his name?
Boogie.
Yeah, him. Sounds like a bigger scam than that guy.
Boogie. Big up Spooky. Crypto scam.
I've been saying for years, crypto is a joke and a scam. Like nobody can explain in a paragraph to me what it is, how it operates, and anybody that wants to get paid only in crypto, it just doesn't end well. It's just bullshit, made up nonsense that people. It's only worth something because other people believe in it. Like if crypto's
Are
so
we, are we still talking
awesome,
about crypto or are we talking about the American dollar?
well, true, but the American dollar is actually backed by like companies
Oil.
that make, yeah, it's backed by a physical something somewhere. Crypto is mined on the internet by a number generated by some guy in China, generated in the background by a being in the computer universe, the internet. It's just there's nothing there. Like, look at company stocks like Apple. Their stock is worth something because they make the phones, tablets, computers. Tesla stock is worth something because they make cars, Starlink and all that. What is crypto based on? Nothing.
It's an exchange.
But like if crypto is so the future, how come it's still being traded for actual dollars? To do anything with it, you got to get USD for it. So it's kind of a self-defeating
Well, there
thing.
you can buy a new Tesla with crypto.
That's true. Some things do take crypto, but
Yeah. I mean, do you think like I everywhere took the American dollar like the first few, first couple days it was printed or whatever in the beginning of it? Or do you think like, you probably had like silver exchanges
oh
or
no, that
like,
was definitely probably
actually
a transition. Yeah, there's some states even had their
yeah.
own currency before it was all
So
standardized.
we might be in like a transitional phase like that to a degree.
Fair. I just want somebody to give a good explanation as to what it is. Because my thing is the guy who made it, at least Bitcoin, the Sakatomoshi, whatever pseudonym he uses. If you're so powerful, why can't you give a real name, put your name to it, and explain it? You have to use an internet handle to say you're the creator of Bitcoin, and it's just I don't know. I just think it's a bunch of bullshit in that sense, and just the culture around it, the tech bro edge lord culture around crypto is just toxic, to use another very in vogue word. Okay, I'm just gonna close that up. Who we got? Who we
So
got?
I think
Go ahead.
my best explanation of crypto would be like it's a limited resource pool that has an exchange for value. The only way to increase the size of the resource pool is to mine it. I believe it's got like a maximum, like a cap, and and so and that's why it has like a value, like a market. Like um, the more people who mine it, like it deletes, like the more coins there are, it deletes the value of it. But then, like the more faith people have in it, the higher the it's like kind of like a stock. I understand that like a stock is for like a company, but it's a market. It's an exchange. Like it's a limited thing with a value attached, so people will see it as desirable, um, and therefore also as a vehicle for investment.
So it's not like Magic the Gathering where it's being printed into being worthless. I heard a lot of
Uh, you
parallels
know,
there.
I would say that Magic invented the NFT with Magic Online.
It's a fair
Magic
point.
Online cards are essentially NFTs.
But do you really own though digital things? Like I was googling something about like physical media versus digital media, and some YouTuber was like, with all
Mhm.
my games, movies, music, I own the physical music. Like, he like still goes out and buys CDs for music that he likes, because like when this all, if like the internet, everything ever gets turned off, you're screwed. You can't access it if you don't already download it. If you're just listening from the cloud, you don't have it saved locally. You basically paid for something you're never gonna be able to get again. So um, I think physical media is still definitely a thing. But as far as NFTs and MTGO, I didn't think of it that way. It's actually very interesting.
Yeah. Ask Jeremy Hambley if you really own those things. The quartering.
Hmm. Why? He'll tell you we don't.
He well, he shared a meme in a private Facebook group, and somehow Hasbro found out about it, or Watsy found out about it, and they seized possession of his Magic the Gathering online card collection.
For
They
what?
didn't
Saying
reimburse him anything for it
s-
because he shared a meme that they didn't like.
that
Essentially,
they're NFTs, or
well, because like
just a meme about
no,
Magic.
no, 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 just a meme, like a political meme,
Oh,
or I don't know exactly what the meme is. I'm
yeah,
sure I probably knew at one point. I just don't remember. But like, essentially, like they didn't like his off of platform behavior, therefore they confiscated thousands of dollars worth of his digital assets.
yeah. No, that's the thing. Desolator went on a similar tangent. I am aware of Jeremy and the Quartering. Yeah, I started listening to some of his stuff. But Desolator talked about, like, he went on a little mini rant about one of his Magic videos, like, what's going to happen next pandemic or whatever. They decide that you're breaking social protocol. If you have a smart car like a Tesla, they're going to remotely lock you out of your car and not let you go to work. And then you're going to go broke. Then you can't pay your bills. Then you're going to lose your house. They're going to fuck you over that way. So I do think that's a real thing. That can definitely happen. That's why, to go back to the physical media point, if you physically own something, they can't, unless they come and dispossess you of it, which is illegal on so many levels. You have what you have.
Right.
And just a side note, I was thinking, like, if Magic's going to get around the reserve list, they basically already have, with some reprints and power creep, replacing the reserve list cards. But
Yeah.
they can just put the entirety of the reserve list on Arena and give everybody access to it that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the entirety of the reserve list is already on Magic the Gathering Online.
Yeah, that's what
So
Morrow talked
so
about.
there is precedent for that.
Yeah, so if people want to play with, dual lands and whatnot, just go that route.
Yeah, and a lot of people do. A lot of people play on Magic the Gathering Online. If they want to play like Legacy or Vintage.
MTGO, it looks cool. I thought about it, but it's just a little too plain looking for me. Like, I wish
Yeah.
Arena was a little more scaled down with the graphics, because it's such a pain in the ass to record. I don't have that great of a PC. And then when I was tried
Yeah.
doing Arena recording gameplay videos, it was just so hard getting a decent recording. I don't need a big splashy sexy effect when Goldspan Dragon enters the battlefield. There's no way to turn it off.
I much prefer Magic the Gathering Online to Arena.
Maybe I'll give MTGO a shot. You don't really need all that sexy flashy stuff.
No, and like the nice thing about Magic the Gathering Online is that you can literally like rent your cards. Like you can like pay a monthly fee or a weekly fee depending on what service you use. And like so I did the one that was like a weekly fee. So
Hmm.
if this week I wanted to play a $2,000 modern deck, well then this week my rental fee would be $20. But like next week if I want to play modern burn for $250, my rental fee would be $4, you know?
Hmm.
It like scales to how much the value of the card you want to rent is. And you can
Interesting.
like pause it whenever you want.
No, that's cool. There's a lot of flexibility there.
Yeah, like I haven't played Magic Online in 6 probably right now. So like I've had it just paused,
Hmm.
the rental service. You don't rent them from Magic Online, you rent them from third parties.
How does that work though? Like, could you lend a card rent? Like, could you rent somebody a card from your own MTGO collection?
Okay, so I could give you cards. I could lend you cards if I trust you to give them back, but there's no way to do anything if um there's no way to do anything if you don't give them back to me.
On MTGO.
Right. Like yeah, like if I lend you a card, like I'm literally giving you the card. You now take possession of the card. And then if you don't give it back, I have no course. Like
Wow.
when you like use one of those rental services, you like literally sign a contract.
Hmm.
So like, I would lend somebody I trusted some cards or whatever.
Hmm. This thing behind. Interesting. I'll take a look at it and give it a try.
I would, like use an online resource for like just learning the interface. The interface isn't super intuitive, and just also like be prepared to lose a couple games because you misclicked while you're learning. But other than that, like once you get it, like a good hang of it or whatever, it's not bad to use at all.
Hmm.
Like I said, I much prefer it to Arena.
What happened to the game share? Well, did you?
It might have been. I might have to refresh it.
No, I'm sharing the screen. Oh no, there it is. It's good. Never mind. You're good.
Oh,
Did you
yeah,
hear about the weighted deck scandal in Arena?
the weighted deck scandal.
Like,
No, I'm not sure what
no,
you mean.
well, I guess I don't know if scandal's the right word, but it kind of is. Somebody made a command, like a brawl deck. Basically, there's a thing in brawl that's colloquially known as Hell Queue, where you just you play against Atraxa, other dank degenerate net deck, like in a loop. You just end up endless opponents just running that. And somebody made a deck. Yeah, this is annoying.
Yeah.
Internet sucks. Well, what I was saying is, somebody built a deck in Arena. It was a brawl deck. So what brawl is 100 cards or is it 60? I don't quite recall. Whatever it is, it's basically like 58 lands, a commander, and one other spell. And they got an error message that says deck weight invalid. Basically, you can't play this deck. Your deck is invalid. He had no banned or
Hmm.
limited or restricted cards in it, and it turns out there's log files for Arena on your computer that shows the weight of certain cards. So cards are weighted, and you play your opponent based on you get matched based on deck weight, basically. Like that card Zenith Flare
Interesting.
from Ikoria is weighted at like two. Their assigned point values is weighted at like 2,000 points. Another XYZ card is like 10 points. So they're arbitrarily deciding point values on cards. And I don't know why Zenith Flare is still at that high of an amount because that was, from 2020 Ikoria. It's power crept out of the game now with all the graveyard removal. So basically that came out and it just furthered the proof that Arena is just a pile of barely functioning garbage.
Interesting. I would want to see the source video for that. I'm sure that could be abused. Like now that we know it.
Yeah, the weighted matches. I think
Yeah,
people started screwing with it and trying to find ways around it. And I don't know. I just think Arena should be truly randomized. Turn off the shuffler, turn off the smoothing, just make it random. You get who you get. There's definitely something going on in the background that matches you up with certain people. Like, go make a mill deck in Arena. Standard Hedron Crab, Ruin Crab, Archive Trap. You're going to get back to back opponents who run like 100 to 200 card decks. And they're all going to be made boarding that green card when it goes to your graveyard. Shuffle your graveyard into your library. You're going to get that.
yeah,
It's always been weird. People in Arena who play just casually 100 card decks just for fun. Um, Supposedly they're just for fun, but some of them do it to beat mill decks. And if you make a
right.
mill deck, you're gonna get back opponents with a deck you physically can't beat. They're built to beat you because they want to rage induce you to buy more gems and work around it.
That's interesting. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that company is shown to be so unscrupulous in every other possible conceivable way.
Mm-hmm. Get a hide preview. Okay, try that. Ugh, this is ass. But with Magic, though, just find the aspects of the game that you enjoy. Just block out the bullshit and the idiots, the PC crap, uh, whatever XYZ demographic circles that are trying to own it and co-opt it. Just block all that out.
Yeah, exactly. And just engage with it intelligently. You're not. It's not. It's not 2016 anymore, where you're gonna buy cards and they're gonna go up, or like you're gonna buy sealed boxes and they're gonna go up. It's just not how it works anymore.
And it's the
You
sad
have
part
to.
is you mentioned 2016. It's not even that long ago, and they're acting
No.
like, and it's all gone down the toilet since then. Like
Yep.
pre-COVID world, everything felt so different, and the funny thing is that was the Trump administration, and the world didn't get burned down. We didn't get into a nuclear war, and things weren't horrible like everyone is saying we're going to be if Trump's president.
No, of course not. But it's like hyperbole and scare tactics, and it's really worked. I mean, it's really worked. Where there's people who think that if he gets reelected, like the literal world is going to end, and then they're vocal, and like it creates a consensus of like, well, nobody likes this guy. How could I vote for him?
Yeah, and just I know some people that are like that. They have bad Trump derangement syndrome, and it's like, nope, Trump bad, Trump bad. That's it, Trump bad. He bad. He's not perfect. He is a flawed human, and he's not morally a good guy. But I mean, he can't just the whole Project 2025 to go back to that. Which system?
No, unelected bureaucrats, like
Oh, well, no, there is a
people in the
yeah, there are people who get appointed to government positions that they're basically protected. You can't get rid of them, and there is a deep state. There's these bureaucrats and offices who were installed by 3 administrations ago. You can't get rid of them. You have to wait for them to do
Yep.
something wrong to fire them. Uh, Supposedly 2025 project wants to change that and install, thousands of just 100% loyal Trump guys. And that's just not possible. And plus, I think the courts can challenge it. All it takes is like one district judge somewhere to block it, like the Muslim ban. Some judge somewhere blocked it, and that was the end of it.
Yep.
So, we really do live in a perfect system. Everybody says about this country and its past and misgivings, and it's not perfect, but it's a system's built to withstand scumbaggery and, a despot.
Yeah, and they're taking bites out of it incrementally. We get like I was talking about this today. You have like politicians like who just stay in the Congress and in the Senate for so long that they become like a super class, like a literal political class.
No, I agree with that. We need term limits on both chambers. Like Nancy Pelosi shouldn't let be a congressperson perpetually. Every 2 years gets reelected. When California is basically a failed state in some aspects, continues to get
For sure.
elected. Everything else has term limits. Why don't Congress and Senate? You don't get any turnover. You just take one senator to fuck everything up.
Yeah, and like they say, like like there's just districts where they say like a glass of water would get elected if it ran as a Democrat.
Yeah. They talked about like Trump's indictment in D.C. The courts in D.C. against him. They're like, listen, a Democrat court will indict a ham sandwich in D.C. if they could. Or if a Republican, if the ham sandwich was Republican, they would find a way to indict it. It's just a
Yeah, right.
Democrat district. They're going to do what Democrats do. And somehow people are talking about what happened. You know what happened to Nancy Pelosi's husband, right? He got attacked by
Yes.
the nude guy in the hammer with his underwear or whatever. I think that was just a lone crazy person, saying, destitute, failed state California, homeless, crazy person who just broke in and wanted to hurt somebody because they're deranged and have problems. Like they're trying to
And
compare it to that.
I think that it was his male escort
I've heard that theory.
who drank too much, and because they like he had like, well, not to be graphic, but he had like toys with him and stuff.
Oh, really? I thought it was just like a
Yeah,
hammer.
yeah. Well, he had like hammer shaped toys,
Jeez.
from
Well,
what I
you
understand.
never know. Some of these people are degenerates and freaks. There's all this stuff from the Epstein files out there and that level of nonsense.
Don't get me wrong, I definitely was not there, but I'm just saying what I'm just saying what I've
Richie
heard.
Dubbz on the scene of Paul Pelosi getting attacked.
What do you
That's
think
funny.
brought the lubes? I know I had more in this.
But there's that Twitter account called Unusual Whales that tracks all of Nancy and Paul Pelosi's stock movements, their stock moves
Oh
they
yeah,
make, and people follow that account and just moves those same buy and sell things that they're doing, and they make tons of money.
Yep.
So it's
Oh yeah, they
basically
mirror. Yeah, they mirror.
they have the inside knowledge of what goes on in Congress, what's being regulated, when to dump out of things, and when to buy more of it.
Yeah, and they're making money too doing it. I've heard like people made a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Just gotta follow a Twitter account and do what everyone else is doing, and you'll make a bag. Damn, this thing's slow at getting subscribers, but that's fine. 81 views. We're doing pretty good. Average view
Nice.
duration 2 minutes 22 seconds. Concurrent views for whatever you do, people. Don't swipe down on the shorts feed. Do not swipe down. You're gonna get some old lady dancing around in her underwear. That happened to me last week. It was some like older Spanish or Filipino chick dancing in the mirror with like her bikini or just like her bra and underwear on and just dancing to some music. And it's like, that's so low effort. That's not,
Amazing.
I mean, this isn't TikTok, but they're trying to get in on the TikTok action. And
Yep.
I do think it is great because YouTube's problem with lives, YouTube's not meant for live, like the horizontal lives, because they don't get any traction unless somebody sub to you. There's very little exposure from the algorithm recommending a live stream like that. So unless they fix that, I mean, I wish they would
I
just
don't
put
know.
what's
Do
that?
you watch a lot of? Do you watch a lot of lives?
Not anymore, no.
I watch a lot of lives, and I'm constantly getting suggested
Well, actually, yeah, I do take that
live.
back. I'll modify that statement a bit. If you watch a live, you do get recommended other like random people, small channels that have lives going. So I guess you will get
Yeah,
occasionally.
I think it's more that short form content is killing the attention spans that it requires to watch it live.
Mm.
Why watch a live stream and have the payoff take 2 hours when you can watch a 20-second video
Hmm.
and it's over.
Well, I know with my
I think
channel, like
TikTok
you think
good.
what?
TikTok is killing the attention span of the youth.
I think just our ease of access to information is like I'll find myself, I'll be looking at one thing, then I'm like, oh, I want to look at this thing. Oh, look at this thing. Then I got trained to myself, like, what am I doing? I can't just, I'm an adult with willpower. I started making myself like, no, read this thing you're doing. And if you want to look at this next thing, finish this thing, then look at that thing. Or tell yourself you don't need to look at it. It's not going anywhere. Look at it later. I mean, there is a lot of like poisoning the brain of all this stuff out there. We're on sensory overload. We can look up anything at any time. I mean, cell phones
Yeah.
are basically mini porn machines in everybody's pocket. Like you talked about
Oh,
the
I
other
know.
day. We were chatting, you mentioned the ubiquity of porn, and that's part of it. There's so much, there's an ease to have access now to smut and all this stuff out there. I mean, just anything. There's just such an ease of access to information. Because back when we were kids, if you wanted to know something, you got to wait till Monday to ask your teacher at school or go to the library to look it up or to actually do the work.
Yeah, if you wanted to look at porn, you had to wait till your parents went to work
Yeah.
to break into your dad's closet.
we, oh, I think were we in New York? No, we were heading up. We're driving towards the Tappan Zee Bridge to go into Rhode Island, and we stopped in like maybe some gas station like Paramus, New Jersey, and the guy had a wall of just like porn mags, and I'm like, I didn't stop to ogle the goods, but I just stopped to ogle just like that concept. At the time, it was like 2019. I was like, 2019. This guy still got porn mags on the wall of his gas station. It's like, who's buying these?
Let me get two. No, I'm kidding. I was, you know, who's buying them? Old guys who don't know how to use their phones.
True, yeah. Truckers or something passing by. Like, oh, look, boobs, grab them. Hey, Captain Waffles,
That'd
thanks for
actually be
joining.
a that'd actually be a funny bit. Like have like an old guy like talk like a younger person. Like I heard you could look up boobs on this thing. Could you show me how to do that?
Like that episode of
Or
Family
like
Guy where they reference
okay
something.
Google, Show me boobs.
I'm gonna try it tomorrow with Alexa. Alexa, show me boobs. See what it does. I gotta keep my voice down. She might hear me. But Family Guy made a joke about that. Like Quagmire didn't know what internet porn was. He's like, internet porn? What do you mean?
Oh yeah,
I look at magazines. I'm like, no, you can. What are you doing? You can look at you can look at porn on the internet. And he's like, what? And he runs back to his house. Then it shows like 4 days later, he comes out of his house. His beard's all scraggly. He looks like shit.
yeah, his arms all jacked.
But his right arm's all jacked.
Yeah.
Oh man, good old Family Guy.
And the internet's wild.
It could be a tool of
It's a hell of
wonder.
a time to be alive.
No, it definitely is. All the things you can do now, like even like you want to buy anything. I remember years ago when I was at university, I was real into the comedian Lewis Black. I probably watched like his stuff on YouTube, just doing homework, just listening to his content. And a Facebook ad on the right on the sidebar recommended Lewis Black live in Newark tonight. I'm like, wait, what? I'm right next to Newark, my university, basically, a couple towns over. So I just went on there, bought a ticket, boom, there I went. I was like, back when we were kids,
Yeah.
if you want a ticket to an event, you probably got to go there and get in line and go to will call or call a phone number, give them your credit card over the phone, and then go there and pick it up. And even like travel back then, you had to go print out a ticket or print out a ticket from your printer at home and bring it to the bus stop if you're taking a bus across state lines or something. Uh, no, it's definitely a best of times sort of thing right now.
Yeah.
I think people talk about how horrible things are. It's like, look at the ease of life right now. We're not going to die of, you know, dysentery or,
Right.
from whatever, eating out of rusty cans because of food standards. You know that the milk you're going to buy on the shelf is not rotten and expired and it's pasteurized. I mean, if you
Big
get
ups,
sick,
Louis Pasteur. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, that's legit. Yeah, that's the guy.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. No, I love historical references. Louis Pasteur. Captain Waffles is in the chat. I'll say pancakes are superior. I know Captain wants to. Excuse me. Damn it. I know Captain Waffles is trying to go to MagicCon Vegas. Hope that works out for you.
Oh, nice.
I will never pay to go to another convention again. I've been to 35 or more anime conventions. No matter the fandom, they're all the same shit. And you basically just end up walking around the dealer area where they sell shit on loop, just over and over again. That's all you end up doing. Like, I don't really care about the panels. You're basically paying money to walk around, look at cards for sale, and then play Magic. And I could do that for free on Spell Table or Arena.
Do you play on Spell Table?
I did for a brief time, but I stopped. Just time and day, and kind of became. That's what I used to do. Vertical. Like do you remember that? I had a horizontal live thing every Friday. I called it Casual Friday, where I would play Magic with people. But it was so hard to find committed people to play with on the regular or come up with, and play. Long story short, I used to play
Oh,
Spell Table, but I don't anymore. And if you get random people, some random people have the worst possible setup. They have like a phone taped to their computer monitor facing down. Their setup looks like shit.
yeah. I've heard that playing with randoms on there is extremely miserable for a multitude of reasons. But when when you play with people you're like already like social with or whatever, it's not too bad.
No, I had fun. I connected with one thing I like to do on my YouTube channel, well, with Magic at least. I recommend this to everybody. I look up streamers from all over the world for Magic. I follow this guy in Taiwan, and myself and Superfast Tortoise and that guy, his name's Penguin. We played a game of Magic with a guy from Taiwan. He speaks English, so
Oh,
it was
nice.
cool. He housed both of us. He ran a Scion of the Ur Dragon and had a pretty powerful deck. So,
Nice.
made some cool connections there. But I used to do that on the horizontal live, and it just like my thing was it just got no views. I would get the same, our regulars, Cosmic, DJ, Brody, you, super fast, like
Yeah.
maybe the same 10 guys, which is great and all. I appreciate it, but like I want to grow and I can't grow if I'm gonna get the same 10 guys. It's just not worth the squeeze. Because plus people only ever really want to play Commander, and Commander is just such a goddamn slog. And Commander's getting to the
You know,
point where it's all people think Magic is Commander now, and it's just not.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, as far as I'm concerned, it is. But like, I hear what you're saying.
Hmm.
And like, I hated Commander when I first started playing. I still don't actually love it. But
Yeah.
if I'm gonna engage with Magic anymore, that's gonna be how it is. Because like, I'm not chasing like cards. I'm not chasing power creep to update my modern decks.
Yeah. No. No.
I'm
I
not
don't.
buying into
Yeah.
cards when they're really high and they're having them tank in value anymore.
No. No. I'm completely with you on that. I get it. Commander is definitely just a more social pick up and play format. But my thing is like some people want to play Commander because they it's turned people into Timmies. I feel they get because they basically their Commander is the eighth card in their hand. They just need to draw enough cards that synergize with their eighth card in hand. They're guaranteed to get this in the command zone and just Timmy off.
Yeah.
I mean, I do play Commander. I have a bunch of Commander decks, but it's just I'm like, hey, anybody want to play 60 card? It's like you just turn on spell table, people just pull out Commander decks. And it's like, no, I just want to play standard. I just want to play a free for all game. That's just a 60 card of a theme deck I made or something, stuff like that. And I don't know, it's like it's made people not bad at Magic, but yeah, that's a Waffles agrees with me. Commander is not
Yeah.
Magic. It is a format of Magic, but it shouldn't be the entirety of the game. So I came up playing 60 card. I play 60 card chaos games with my friends on Friday nights, and they were crazy because you didn't have a guaranteed eighth card in hand. You had to build a functioning deck and actually, you know, play politics and try to win.
We should try like Cockatrice or X Mage one night.
What is that? Those are like you can play Magic on those things, right?
Yeah, yeah, but like you don't have to buy any cards. Like you can play like a modern deck for free.
Yeah, just send me a link to those things in the Discord chat. I keep hearing about them, but I just keep forgetting to. I have bad dad brain, so I keep forgetting to
Yeah,
click to
I
do those things.
I've never checked them out either, but like they've been on my radar for a little while now.
No, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to mess around with old stupid cards like what's that one from Arabian Nights, Shahrazad or whatever. You
Yeah,
basically
Shahrazad, yeah.
you basically you play a Magic mini side game with your decks and then go back to your main game. Like I don't know how that would work. Like when people talk about reprinting the reserve list, I tell them like, all right, you just told me to reprint the reserve list. I want you to read this card that come back to me in 5 minutes. You want this card back slapping around in Magic? I mean, again, they could just ban it to be fair, but there's just some shit that's in old Magic that just shouldn't be reprinted, or even stuff that's not on the reserve list. Old cards should have sanctity. To go on this tangent,
Yeah.
because are you familiar with that card, Reconnaissance? It was an Exodus uncommon.
It's not ringing a bell.
It's can I share my screen? Let's see.
Yes, you can. You can
No, it's not.
maybe.
No, it's not letting me. It's not a big
Okay.
deal. Basically, it's a one mana enchantment from Exodus. They reprinted it in Assassin's Creed, which is weird. But it's a one mana enchantment, one white. Its ability is pay 0, remove target creature from combat, untap target creature, remove it from combat. Basically, it it's got really weird wording. You can still deal damage, and at the end of combat, after the damage step, you can remove the card from combat. So it's just got weird old wording that just shouldn't be around in today's game. And that kind of
Yeah.
mechanic of no drawback, one mana, 0 amount ability you can use infinitely, basically untaps your creatures moved from combat. And you can basically have a free, no downside thing to attack and get away with it, untap all your dudes. Basically, it's a vigilance machine,
Right.
and they reprinted it. It's just something that doesn't belong in today's game. And that's my gripe against it's again, it's on a reserve list cards, but it is an old card. It worked in that set for whatever reason, Exodus. I don't know what their logic was there. But that was before they had the cards they have today that have double strike, that have all these weird abilities and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of those like really old cards that could be really broken today.
I mean, there was a lot of trash and chaff on the reserve list that's just not good, but it is fun just collecting some bad cards you know that will never be reprinted. Just makes them kind of special. I have a few of those in a box, and they're just fun to have. Captain Waffles, I'll take you up on that. Maybe I will try some Spell Table again. I'll do it on a this time vertical live and make it presentable for the people out there to watch. The thing is, like, Magic is hard. It's a hard thing to do on streams and open because it's not meant to be on a camera and open. People do it. You can have your camera above it, but you need to actually have a good setup. You got to have a dedicated rig for it. You got to have the arm mounted thing on your desk with the camera pointed down, a good microphone, an autofocus to look at the cards. Magic's not a good thing. It's hard to talk about on streams and whatnot because the size of cards. It's not meant to be a digital thing like this.
Yeah, another thing is like when you have an effect that lets you look at like target opponent's hand. If you're digital, you have to show everybody.
Yeah, like that. There's like that commander card, Hull Breacher, where you search your opponent's library. And there's other cards that let you
Yeah,
search your opponent's library. Like, what are you gonna do? Tell everybody, all right, guys, turn off your camera, no peeking. Like, that's just not gonna work.
yeah, or like, oh, go ahead and read me every card in your library. I'm gonna sit here for like 45 minutes.
In a commander deck. Or if you're playing somebody in a non-commander deck and they're real cute and have like a 200 card Relentless Rats deck, and look at all the Relentless Rats. I legit made a wooden arm attached to my desk to do things and to record. That's handy. I think I got this as a birthday. I put it on my wish list for my birthday last year. Somebody got it, one of those arm things that you clamp to the side of your table and you bend around and look at your playmat. And my playmat's
I
too
need to
small. I need a bigger play space. The desk I'm
go one
using,
of those. Use a tripod.
yeah, I did that for a while before I got the arm thing. But
I have like a high tripod. I put it between my legs, like on the floor, like between my feet or whatever.
before I got my arm table thing, whatever the thing's called, um, I did that. I had a tripod. I would put it on and I would open the top desk drawer and put it in there and just pray it doesn't fall. I've had streams where it's fallen over on me and that's real awkward. But you got to have a good setup. And yeah, I played some real rando weirdos who had the phone with like, they were using one of those camera apps, but they weren't using the paid tier. So it had the watermark in the middle of the screen. I've had a few of those. And
That's funny.
I don't blame people, but Spell Table itself is standard Wizards quality. It's just a shit product. Spell Table, like the camera quality, you can have a really good camera. It just like downscales your camera to a potato piece of garbage.
Oh yeah, because it wants to reduce the amount of data transferring through its servers.
You have a decent camera, right? For your computer?
No,
No, you don't.
no, I just have like a cheap Logitech $100 webcam.
Okay. Sometimes it's all you need, but like um over the holidays before the baby came, I actually played Magic with Brody on Discord and the I fucked up the recording. I was gonna do something on my channel with it. And it's a lot better just playing on Discord. There are people on YouTube who do Commander games. It looks like they play on Spell Table, but they edit it and make a long form video out of it. So like something like that would be cool. I do want to do
Yeah,
I do as a Magic thing. I think I talked about it with you in the past. I wanted to do a battle of like all the Magic different board states and IPs. Like someone gets a Godzilla deck, someone gets a Lord of
yeah,
the
that'd
Rings
be fun.
deck, someone gets Doctor Who, and like you could play an intro for each deck of actually something from that IP. Or just like play somebody in arena and just do like the most confusing board state game possible. Like have
Dibs on
the
Transformers.
yeah, there you go, no problem. But like who can have the initiative city's blessing in a dungeon with a mutated creature at nighttime? What
With a
else is there?
sticker,
With a sticker,
sticker on their attraction.
with a sticker. That's a token. That's a copy of something. Oh man, that would be funny. And everybody, both players have 9 poison counters. Have 9 poison counters, 10 energy counters, bird encounters from the One Ring, phased out permanents.
Dude, the One Ring is $110 for the
Bro,
promo that you got in the
I'm kicking myself in the ass. Yeah, I know. I'm kicking myself in the ass for not buying a
I
bundle.
have one.
You got one? Good for you.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I have one from a bundle I won. I didn't pay enough attention. I died to poison. Yeah, Magic Bingo. There you go.
man.
That's funny.
That's what we should call it, Magic Bingo. But yeah, no, I'm kicking myself for not getting one of those bundles. There's even talk now of banning the One Ring, but I don't think Wizards are going to do that. They're not going to ban a product where like it's a marquee product. They paid a lot of money for. They're not going to ban the card that is like the underpinning of the whole story. Oh, you're in there.
We made a $2.2 million card and then banned it.
That would be something. What is it? Oh, my frames dropped again.
Yeah.
You're an asshole.
What's your internet speed?
Probably shit. Okay, it's back. Never mind. It's not good. I don't want to open up a browser to look.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you definitely don't want to run it now. It's gonna take all the resources out of the stream.
It's Mrs. Benson's fault. She's streaming. She's watching something. I don't care. It's fine. Part of it is with my internet. I should really. I think a wired connection would be better. I'm thinking about calling my ISP and be like, "Can you guys run a wire from my box in my garage up through the ceiling and into my room? Thank you very much." Because this is
I think
killing me.
they would charge a lot for that.
Do they? I thought it was like considered part of the service if you need it hardwired.
No, absolutely not. Maybe it is. Don't quote me on that, but like I'm pretty sure, like probably not.
Wouldn't surprise me. 6 likes, 121 views. How about that? Magic Bingo. But yeah, Lord of the Rings. I missed the boat on that one. I got the starter decks for Christmas, and that's about it. I do want a bundle, but I'm not gonna pay out the ass for one.
I think I won mine on like Twiddler's channel, so
Mhm.
like I just got it opened or like came with the promo.
You've hit jackpot on Twitter stream. Didn't you get to win a couple of bundles now? You won the
Yeah,
All Will Be One, the Lord of the Rings. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it did pretty good. A few nights.
How's your Lorcana collection? You got in on that?
No, I bought some for my nieces. I bought a little for myself when I bought it for them. Like, remember how I'm back in New York now, and I was talking to my buddy about going to the LGS.
Hmm.
I guess he's been playing Lorcana over at the LGS,
Okay.
and so he's hyped that I'm gonna come play. So I might get a little deeper into Lorcana shortly here.
That's cool. If you got the card pool for it, sure. Just you just make a generic deck and just a jank starter level deck and just have fun. That's what it should be. I'm just getting tired of like anytime a new card game comes out, people just automatically assume and buy a bunch of it and hoard it and gatekeep it and assume it's going to be worth a ton of money just because
Yeah,
Magic
well, that's what
is.
happens. You know, that's what happens when you have something that like sets the precedent, like Magic did.
It's like that sorcery game. I got a channel viewer sent me a box, like donated me a box of sorcery commons, alpha and beta, like alpha commons from that game. Um, the problem with sorcery is there's no online client to play it. There's no version of like arena for sorcery, and it can't be played remotely because you interact with your opponent's side of the board. Your cards have to go on their side of the mat. You play on a shared mat, like a grid, and you have to
Oh,
have
okay.
somebody in front of you. And I think there's been all kinds of supply problems with sorcery, but the cards are worth a fortune on some of them, and the game just came out. That's my issue. I'm like, Black Lotus wasn't worth $1 million overnight. It was,
Yeah.
a week later. It was worth a couple $100 when it came out, from what I heard, but it took a long time to hit that price point. How do you justify these cards for a game that just came out that nobody's playing, nobody has access to be at that price? And it's just made up nonsense, I
FOMO.
think. People saw what Magic was worth. And there's no market for these. How are you deciding that's the price point already for some of these cards? Netrunner. That was a card game, right? Kind of remember hearing about that.
I traditionally haven't played a lot of card games. I played a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh. I played Magic way back when I was like 12.
Mhm.
I played Yu-Gi-Oh for a short time, maybe when I was like 19 or something. One of my little cousins was like really into Yu-Gi as a franchise, and
Mhm.
he had cards, but he had nobody to play with.
That
So
was
like I
nice of
learned
you.
how to play it and
Yeah.
built the deck. Yeah, yeah.
No,
Um,
my evolution in card game was Pokemon 90, like 98, 99, then Magic, then Yu-Gi-Oh. I never quit Magic. I always loved Magic, but like it was just always it went on the back burner for a while to find something else to do. Then I'd go back to it. Um,
yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh though, yeah, I played Yu-Gi-Oh before the first ban list in like '04, whatever it was. When they did the ban list, I kind of was growing out of it. 'Cause Yu-Gi-Oh, I feel like is kind of a kid's game in a lot of ways. Um, and just kind of got burnt out on it.
I probably didn't play any meta Yu-Gi-Oh. I kind of just like built decks based on
Mm.
my limited knowledge of deck building at the time or whatever.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh never crossed my mind I could buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards online. I never thought to do that back when I played Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was like '04, '05 when e-commerce was a thing. I was like, oh, I need this card. I guess I'm never going to get it because no one has it. I never crossed my mind to go out and buy the singles. Yu-Gi-Oh is a good singles friendly game because they had a restricted list of cards you can only have one of in the deck, kind of like Magic Legacy is now.
Right.
Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon are gateway drugs to Magic. That's true. Or sometimes, the reverse of that. But no, Yu-Gi-Oh, I had fun with it. I sold all my cards a while back and just moved on. I kept two of them, and that was that. It's just Yu-Gi-Oh now with reading the cards is just ridiculous, and all the shit that they do. In Yu-Gi-Oh, I just don't think it's a balanced game. You could just do things for no reason. In Magic, you need mana. You need a resource to expend to do the thing in Magic. Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't. There's so many one-turn kills. It's ridiculous. Magic, you can do the same thing, but those kind of cards are usually restricted and hell of expensive. In
Yeah, it's
Pokemon,
funny because like
go ahead.
one of the things that people complain the most about in Magic is like one of the things that makes it the best, and that's like the variance of having like to draw lands and spells.
Yeah, because it takes skill. It's not just Yu-Gi-Oh, which dice roll. You go first, you win. Um, yeah, but that's a kind of the one shitty thing about Magic. Like the thing you need are the lands, and the lands you need to succeed and play in meta and in tournaments. The lands are the most expensive part sometimes. Like the lands, are like the one thing I understand the reprints of all the fetch lands, dual lands, triomes. All the triomes are
Yep.
due for a reprint, in my opinion. Um, that's the one shitty thing about Magic. It's like just off the jump, just on the basics you need, the lands you got to spend out the ass, and it's ridiculous on some of them.
I agree.
That's why I'm glad with when Pioneer came out, they banned the fetch lands in Pioneer because or else it was basically just going to be
Yep.
modern all over again.
Yeah, but they cited like tournament play as the reason, right?
I don't recall the reason. Is that the reason? That's a really bad reason. What does tournament play have to do with the reason to ban fetch
Or
lands?
maybe not tournament play, but like in-store play or whatever. Like essentially the problem that and the reason why they said that fetch lands would never be in standard again is like shuffle time in a game. Like every time you fetch, you have to shuffle, your opponent has to cut.
Oh, no, that is
It
annoying.
really
Yeah.
yeah. So like when they talked about Pioneer, they cited that as like a limiting factor for fetch lands in Pioneer.
Yeah, shuffling. It's like that Ikoria monster that got banned, Yoro of the Clouds or whatever, because you had to have a 100 card deck or
Yoram,
whatever. Yeah, you'd have a 100 card deck, whatever, for its companion rules.
yeah, 80 cards.
Yeah, and it created these unwieldy giant decks with the sleeves people would put on it, which just made things go drag on forever. And I don't know who thought of that with Ikoria with the companions, that it was just an eighth card in hand you can just play at any time. Because I remember they had to add the 3 mana tax you had to pay to play it from the companion zone into your hand. I think it used to be just you
Yep.
could just play it basically from what is basically a command zone in
Yep.
standard. That's crazy. And like as soon as it came out, I remember all the legacy players were just breaking it and be like, "This is ridiculous." It's a guaranteed eighth card in hand.
Yeah, and like some of them were really good. Like Luris, like in older formats, Luris is not. It's it's like his restriction isn't a restriction. It's
Mhm.
like a nudge for like good deck building decisions. Like you only
Yeah.
want one and two spells. Like that's literally how those formats function.
Hmm. Yep. Then they go and make a card that's just candy to those kind of players.
It like draws you like your best spell every turn out of your like graveyard. Like that's wild.
Yeah. Guaranteed. Yeah. It's your little engine is right there. That's all you need. You don't have to draw it. You don't have to build a balanced deck. It's just right there for you. Your eighth card in command zone. Boom. There you go.
And you only had to play blue or black or the color hybrid. It was really weird.
Which one?
Luris.
Oh yeah.
All of them. They were all two color hybrid.
Yeah. Well, and they were all cracked for the most part. I can't think. I don't think any of them were like terrible.
Glitchery wasn't great.
That one they banned right off the bat. I think it was banned in Commander. Like before it even came out, it saw
Yeah, in Commander.
and then COVID happened. I remember Ikoria came out. I don't know how people played it back then, unless it was on Arena. Nobody was able to play it because it was all lockdown. So I guess if you lived in Florida, things didn't matter, or states that weren't doing that. But I wonder how bad Ikoria was impacted by COVID. So when it came out, I was like, "That's shitty. It's cool Godzilla set, and nobody can play it because of lockdowns."
I remember they had the Death Corona card in there too.
Yeah, that was supposed to be like worth hundreds because it was called Death Corona, and they did correct it to be something else. But
Yeah, yeah,
the actual Death Corona now that was actually only worth a couple bucks. Like it's people came back down to earth and realized this is stupid.
yeah, yeah. Speculator.
I was reading on Twitter, somebody was like, "Oh God damn it, I spent all this money on." He paid pre-release prices on a bunch of the Assassin's Creed cards, and it's like I commented not to be an asshole, but I'm like, you did that to yourself. Why would you do that? Do you know anything about Magic economy? Like, I pre-release prices are always drastically inflated. They do it because they know people are gonna think they're gonna get in on something. And it's just gonna flop. And the set first comes out, it's gonna be worth a lot, and then once it's all open in circulation, it's gonna crater in value.
Yep. Yeah, the chase ends. The novelty wears off. The chase ends, and
Yeah,
everything goes down.
it's like
Except for like a few really like format warping cards
mhm.
or format defining cards.
It's like when the Zendikar Rising, no, Battle for Zendikar came out. The bundles were worth a fortune. They were like double the normal, like almost like double the normal price of fat packs back then, because the lands you got in the bundle were the full art the full art lands. So everyone was charging all the people were buying them up from their LGS and reselling them for double the price
Mhm.
because that was back before full art lands started becoming the norm again. Because it used to be the full art lands only came out in Zendikar and Unglued, and that was all. And then they started making them in a regular everyday thing. And I saw one for sale the other day, a sealed Battle for Zendikar, and I'm like, haha, this thing's basically worthless because that set was basically trash as far as I'm concerned. How we doing? Views 136. We're doing good. 7 likes. So the trick
Next
is,
time,
what's that?
I was just saying, next time we do this, we could like maybe make a little docket, like some interesting topic points to cover or whatever.
Yeah, because definitely dead air is definitely a thing. You gotta have some something to talk
Yeah.
about. We should get your your video, which is actually really funny. I meant to compliment you on that. The dancing goblin guy video you posted
Oh yeah.
on April Fool's dancing
Cyrax. Yeah, yeah.
goblins. I'm like, what the hell is this? Richie messing with AI, and it's just that weirdo. We should just like have that on the screen, just playing on loop. Just a visual for people to
Yeah.
look at.
You should check out Cyrax if like you don't know who that is.
Weren't you explaining it? It's just a
He's a
real
pretty.
gross, dank
Oh,
weirdo.
yeah, yeah. If I explained it already, then yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And there's the other guy. What's the other guy's name? Scooby or something. There's another guy you told me about is a
Uh,
real weirdo. People send him like glitter bombs in the mail just to fuck
oh,
with.
oh, Cobra, King
Yeah,
Cobra JFS. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I just like laughing at weirdos online. I don't know.
Those guys are
Maybe
gross.
I'm
They're
a
just
bad
like
person.
so. They're just gross. They make me uncomfortable to look at. I don't even like. I had to watch a couple of those videos you sent me, and they started popping up in my feed, and I had to like mark them as do not recommend. I just don't want to look at them. They're just depressing, gross humans. Like bottom of society, no prospects, nothing, burgers of worth of humans, as cold as that sounds. And it's
No,
unfortunate their
I
life
mean
is
like
like that, but I just don't want to look at that level of destitute patheticness.
they've earned a lot of the hate to get. I think Cobra is a little bit different than Cyrex. Like Cyrex deserves all the hate he gets. He's done some really vile stuff.
I don't get like these people just have no shame and no nerve, like the nerve to do the shit they do. And
No,
it's
isn't that crazy?
like, how do
I think
you?
that's where I get fascinated.
It's like, do you know that you're a train wreck, or you just don't care and have zero self awareness that what you're doing is gross, and you're putting your face on YouTube and you continue to do it? Like it's just, ugh, yeah, no, thank you. Desolator made a new video. For a long time, I didn't follow Desolator. I thought like I heard he was just like a real like right wing like crybaby weirdo. But I've listened to his videos, gave him benefit of the doubt, and I've come around to enjoy his content. Some of his stuff is a little too right wingy, too preachy. He knows everything, but
Yeah,
I think there is a decent voice there.
I came from the other way. I liked him at first, uh, but I soured on him the more I learned about him and the more exposure I had to him.
Now there are times he talks, I'm just like, dude, you don't know everything. Just keep it to yourself. And some of it is just, which is the trick goes back to what I was saying earlier. I was the fights I was getting into on X about just magic personalities with 1,000 subscribers that that happen to all be trans or whatever. Go ahead, ask a question. We got a new guy named Frogger Slime in the chat. Um, shit, where's I going with that? I lost my train of thought. I'm getting tired. I basically people that make claims like up on high, like they know better, and they just don't. You should really just make your own decisions. Don't just take what some rando internet on the internet is saying for its word 1,000%, because what they're saying is based on their own biases and perceptions of things. Their perspective doesn't mean it's true.
Absolutely.
All right, we got a chat person. Can I ask a question? Sure, go ahead. Ask anything. I don't know if you saw, Richie. I named this video, this stream, chat and chill. Ask us anything. Ask a
Yeah,
question.
that's cool.
Ask away.
You forgot his question. Hello, Kitty.
My um, losing train of thought is contagious. If you look at me, I'm making the same face Biden was making during that debate. Just the, huh? What? Who are you?
My Discord banner.
Although I do think some of that look was just, he was just appalled by the shit Trump was saying. Um, and I will say about the debate is I'm not 100% sure the stuff he was saying, what was true and what wasn't. I know, knowing Trump, there definitely was a lot of lies in what he was saying. But I feel like Biden didn't help him sitting there with his slack jaw open. And just the way Biden walked out on a stage with his arms like slightly bent and that old man shuffle he does, it's just
Yeah,
not a good
yeah.
look.
No, it's so bad. Part of me wants Biden to win just for the memes, though. The memes will just be phenomenal.
Well, even if Trump was president, when he was president from 16 to 21, his administration 17 to 21, it was hilarious
Yeah.
because every day he wasn't afraid to get out there in front of the press and just say or do something stupid and hilarious. It was just like every day there was something to laugh at with that guy.
Trump was definitely another meme,
Yeah.
another meme generating machine
Yeah,
for
he's a
sure.
complete clown on so many things. And just I'm just like I was in China in 27 back in 2017. I spent 3 weeks in China and I'm like, yep, that's my guy, Donnie T over there with his Kofifi tweets and not making any sense.
Did you see all the weirdos who thought that was like a secret code?
Yeah, I heard about that. Or people like, see, he's mentally unfit. Evoke the 25th. He's brain damaged. It's like, no, I think he just was lost his train of thought or had a typo and didn't realize it. I mean, we're all flawed. I mean, his Twitter back in the day was great. I don't remember anything besides Kofifi, but I know there were a lot of absurd tweets. He wasn't afraid to go on Twitter and just scrap with people, which made him like people don't realize this. They discount it and they throw it away and just call him names and call him stupid and dangerous. He humanizes with people on a regular level, the average person. And he is a scummy guy, does scummy things, but he does have empathy for a regular person. Like he'll stop and talk to a regular average Joe, and the normal
Oh,
politician
absolutely.
just won't. And people totally just
Yep.
throw that away. I was saying to some people yesterday, and I was like, they're all like, "Oh, Trump got shot." Like they were like, "This is bad," but I can tell their body language. They're like, "Good." Like they were kind of like happy about it. I'm like, "Why
Some
are?"
people were just come right out and saying like, next time get your son shooting lessons. Like,
Yeah,
this is why we got to
it's
teach our kids to shoot everybody. Like,
stupid. Yeah. Do you realize how bad it would
yeah,
be if
or
he
like,
was actually assassinated? It'd be horrible. There'd be blood. There'd probably be some like 2020 rioting levels happening now, and it's just bad. That I was like, well, why aren't we talking about what's making these people feel like Trump is their only option? What's happened to the society and economy where they feel like this is where they have to turn? And they had no answer to that. It's like there's
well, I don't know if that's necessarily even what it is. I think a lot of it is just fueled by the rhetoric. Every time you turn the TV on, it's how bad it's going to be when Trump is reelected,
mhm,
and how it's almost inevitable at this point. And believe that stuff.
yeah, yeah. It's Frog or Slime. You still here? What's your question? I'm jumping off in 3 minutes. I'll call it a night at midnight. Um,
I don't know. I think we lost Farker's line.
no, it's just not good. People just gotta have some perspective. It's like during COVID. I don't have cable, but I saw clips of CNN. They had like a live tracking scoreboard permanently on the screen during COVID of all the positive cases and all the deaths, putting the scoreboard
Yeah.
in our face, reminding us. And it's just, that was such a bullshit time. That was just an unnecessary thing to do. And, Trump couldn't have rallies. You weren't allowed to go outside and go for a walk without getting stigmatized. But these people with the George Floyd stuff were allowed to go out and riot and loot and burn down police stations and get away with it. It's just
Yeah.
an upside down world. And I think there even was a judge during the January 6th hearings who was doing his job, but he looked at some of these people being thrown to jail basically for years for January 6th. They shouldn't have broken into the Capitol. They were wrong. That is illegal stuff. But he did have perspective. He's like, no, we can't good faith throw the book at these people when you had people who burned down police stations all summer long and got away with it. You can't do that. Like, that's why that guy,
And
the Rittenhouse guy in Milwaukee, who who got off.
yeah.
Am I dropping again? Kind of.
No, no, I hear you.
Okay. Like the Rittenhouse guy, the judge had all that in perspective. He's like, no, stop calling him a white supremacist. Stop calling him a mass killer. Uh, First off, he shot white people. And this is a guy who saw what happened all summer. He had enough and he wanted to go and protect his friend's property or whatever it was. And good to know there are some people out there that have that, perspective again, objectivity, and be like, no, you're going to hold everybody to the same standard.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Again, don't break into the Capitol. That's illegal. You're not allowed to be there. You should, get an abbreviated jail time for that. But again, what has these people so incentivized besides the rhetoric? And it is more than just rhetoric. They're mad about societal structural problems. Democrats have only gotten more and more educated, more and more elitist on the coastal cities, telling coastal elites, telling Midwestern Ohio towns how to live their life. And it just doesn't work. You know, Hillary called everybody who votes for Trump a deplorable. How do you think that makes them feel? I think Hillary
Yeah,
didn't go and campaign in Wisconsin or Detroit or whatever it was and lost those states. How do you think that makes the
yeah.
people feel? People have feelings at the end of the day. And it's just, you know,
They got Trump in the Bronx.
true. Yeah. They love Trump in the Bronx. He
Yeah,
speaks.
he just went there and gave a rally not that long ago.
Oh, yeah. I saw that news. Yeah. And he did well.
Like the Bronx is like almost as deep blue as you can get. Like New York City is so blue.
Hmm. All right. I got midnight. So do you. You're on the
All right,
same
man.
coast as me.
Oh yeah.
Everybody who hung around, thanks for stopping by. Thanks. We got. I gotta make the likes bigger. 7 likes, 5 concurrent viewers, 142 views. Average view time, is that 1 minute, 17 seconds, or 1 hour and 17 minutes? I don't know, don't matter.
Probably 1 minute 17 seconds.
Probably 1 minute, 17 seconds. It's pretty good. If you can keep people's attention just rambling about whatever with a random game on the screen, I'll take that. That's a win.
Yeah.
All right, Richie, any closing thoughts?
Uh, be good to each other.
There you go. Be good. Show some empathy. If you're a Democrat and you see a Trump supporter, just go talk to them. Ask them how their day is, how they're doing. Why do they just stop and ask them, hey, why do you feel this way? Why do you empathize with Trump? And just be civil. Have a conversation. You know, hopefully they don't block you on Twitter just for asking asking a question. All right, everyone. I'm gonna end the stream now. Richie, I'll circle back to you on Discord, even though we're still on Discord.
All right, man.
All right. Thanks, YouTube land. Bye bye.